We are now live. I'm about to share this and tag you, and then we'll get started. Let's see. Okay. Then I'm just going to share it real quick. There it is. All right, you're getting a tag coming up.
Yeah, got it.
You got it? Okay. And just put it on my other Facebook right quick. And we'll be good to go. Puppy bio. And we are now ready. All right, greetings everyone. I hope you all are well and having a great day, evening, week. Welcome once again to Community Hour of Power. We are so excited. We have our guest and we are ready to go. But first, we are going to just take a moment to center ourselves and bring ourselves into the present. So many times we run through our day and we do not just take a moment for ourselves and to remind ourselves of this gift of life. And so I just invite you all to get comfortable in your seat, laying down wherever you may be, and just take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. And you're going to take another deep breath in and take another deep breath out. And just continue that breathing pattern, breathing deeply in and breathing deeply out. And with each breath in, just imagine breathing in love and imagine breathing in light and goodness, the gift that this world has to offer. And breathe out doubt, breathe out negativity. And sometimes when we're breathing like this and it's a little bit quiet, thoughts are going through our mind, it's okay. Just allow the thoughts to pass and just thank God for this moment. And remembering that the breath of God just flows through our veins, that He breathed life into us. And we are just so thankful. And we're thankful for this moment. We are thankful for being able to just stand on the shoulders of our ancestors in this Black History Month and knowing just the faith and the survival and the strength and the passion and power and love that our ancestors had to get through different times of life and meaning. And so we're just grateful. And we're grateful for this moment where we remember that we are history, that we are wonderful and excellent, and we're strong and passionate and loving and nurturing and all the things that is just good that this world has to offer. And so as we wrap up this breathing exercise, we continue to stay grateful for life and for this time. And if you close your eyes, you can open them when you're ready. And so again, we see you all in the chat. Welcome once again to Natural Week Community Hour of Power. We're so excited. Before I introduce our guest, just a couple announcements. Thank you to everyone who has been part of the food bank. We had one today at New Providence. We have another one this Saturday coming, February 13th at New Providence. And it also includes a hot meal We are grateful to be of service to the community. And next week, we continue Zoom tutoring, and we have our food bank at Friendly Friendship Baptist Church, and just a host of things in store for Natural We. So we are grateful for that. And with that, I am going to introduce our great guest who gets the job done. Wilbert Bullins, affectionately known as Will, is a tried and true Angelino. He was born in Gardena and has lived in Los Angeles and surrounding cities his entire life. Being raised by a strong Black mother and father, Will learned the values of family first, serving others, working hard, and dreaming big. He used these values to, against all odds, become the first in his family to graduate high school and obtain two post-secondary degrees. He is an example for his nieces and nephews, in addition to his impact with his children. Will prides himself in being a jack of all trades. Will is well known for his ability to fix anything, make anything. He can cook, y'all, and pretty much do anything. Will is a dynamic vocalist, and he often leads praise and worship in a variety of settings. Will is the founder of a nonprofit organization known as Boys Will Be Boys, which is a space where young boys with absent fathers can learn the things that a father figure would normally show them. He has also recently launched a clothing and apparel line known as Deity Apparel. Themes of Deity Apparel include lifting up Black men, Black parents, Black History Month, Black professionals who have made significant contributions within, excuse me, their professional communities, and so much more. Will also designs flyers, works within audiovisual production, and changes oil and brakes on cars, and dabbles in carpentry and similar fields. His motto is, if you know a little bit about a lot of stuff, then you'll be all right. One of his areas of expertise is his culinary ability. Will gets down in the kitchen. His mother, Vicky Butler, has used his gifting to her advantage as he prepares meals for our extended family, as mom calls them, twice a week as a part of the Would You Like a Meal ministries. He makes breakfast that includes some variety of grits, oatmeal, eggs, omelets, toast, waffles, pancakes, and breakfast meats. His dinners have varied from hibachi style to backyard barbecue to tacos, beans, and rice. Will is also a published author. He authored a First Lady's Last Man in 2019, which is a sultry tale that has received rave reviews. This captivating page turner is one of those books that you can't put down once you've picked it up. Will and his wife Shanika currently live in LA County, and together they have four amazing children: Taylor, Jay, Lee, and Wilbert Jr. And with that, welcome, Brother Will, and just please introduce yourself in your own way.
Um, I think that that bio pretty much did it. My beautiful wife had the pleasure of putting that together, so I think she incorporated everything that is probably me, with a little left out that she probably wanted to leave out. So,
Well,
yeah, I'll leave it at that.
so let's see. Well, you have some comments. We have some Bishop whoop whoop. Um, we also have I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm gonna say it. Hey, Bookie Bear, with a whole bunch of smile hearts. I'm gonna just leave it right
I know
there
who those are.
though. And go Will. And we also have a comment in regards to your book that we are still waiting on part two. And with that, we are still waiting on part two. Yes, brother, we are waiting on part two. But before we get into that, please talk about your book. Why did you write it? What inspired? What's it about? Just please tell us about your book.
The book was the book was it was a experiment. I don't want to really take too much credit from all the authors out there, those who have been to journalism school and things like that. Honestly, I sat and I thought, I think I can write a book. And that's where it began. I contemplated on different things I could possibly write about, autobiography. I thought about different things, and it just didn't click. I sat down, tried to write. It just didn't click. And literally one night, I had a dream, and my dream was literally the book cover. If you've read it, I dreamed from the book cover to the book to the front cut, from the front cover to the back cover. was all in a dream, and I was able to recall the entire dream. I was able to recall the entire dream when I woke up, and it stuck with me. I started writing, and I think I got through about maybe 4 chapters. In the process of moving and relocating, I lost, I think, the last 3 chapters that I had written. So when I picked it back up, I had been married for a little bit. We worked on Dr. Shanika's book, "Live as It Is Written." Shameless plug there. Uh, we worked on her book. We did everything in house. We did all the writing, all the cover design, editing. We did everything in house. And with that being published, we even self published. With that being published, it just pushed me, and I said, "Hey, I started writing a book, and I truly believe that the Lord had given me the story to write because I could remember the entire dream." And she said, "You know what? Just put it together." And that's where A First Lady's Last Man was really birthed, from the encouragement of putting together Shanika's book.
That is beautiful. And with your shameless plug, real quick, we go ahead and say the title of her book one more time, please.
The title of the book is A First Lady's Last Man.
No, Dr. Shanika's book,
Oh, her book is Live as It Is Written.
Live as It Is Written. So that is great. You someone said you better dream a book. And that and being able to have the whole entire process. How did that feel when you did this process? You dreamed it, you took a leap of faith, wrote it, did the editing process, the publishing, the image, all the copy editing, all that comes with it, and then okay, it's out, and then it's out, and now people are buying it.
It was it was it was it was stressful, to say one, because it was a story being told through the perspective of 3 different people. It was kind of tough, going from one character to the next and just really trying to um, have the book. What I wanted to present is something that you can read and actually see. There's no pictures in the book. So it's not one of those where you have a random picture, the end of chapter one, and then a random picture, so it's not one of those. So I wanted to make sure that I would be able to have the reader read every single word, pick up the dialect, be able to picture, the characters. I just wanted to incorporate all that. So it was very stressful bouncing back and forth, from character to character. But once I got into the groove of things, I would write a couple of chapters, and then I would let Shanika read it. I'd write another, and she was on it. I mean, she was like, "Okay, where's the rest? Are you not done? Why are you not done? I need more. I need more." So with those reactions, I knew that I was on a roll, and I said, "Okay, I gotta get this thing finished, and then and edited and published." And when it was published, it just took off like wildfire.
So you said that you wanted to paint a picture, and you did. So I read the book, and
Thank
I was like, let me pick up this book real quick, see what's going on. And and initially I was like, okay, I'm a just read a chapter, and then I'll just do it in my leisure time. And the next thing I knew, 3 hours later, I had finished the book, and I said, well, where's the sequel? And so, sir, it's 2021, 2 years later, and I just want you to know that myself and your watchers are waiting for the sequel, because not only was it captivating and things like that, but your bio says it perfectly in terms of sultry. It wasn't trashy. It was sultry, and you could imagine and think about it, and you could identify with each character. So that was very, very great. And you have another comment that says very in all caps, detailed writing, in going from there. So we thank you for that, just taking that moment and that time to just going ahead and being obedient to spirit and writing the book. It's great. You have tapped into something, and feel free to continue to develop it. You will have people who will support it.
Thank you.
Oh, with that, you do so many things. I want to make sure that we tap into it. Yes, live as it is written. Go cop that perfect Valentine's gift. Yes, please feel free to. It is on Amazon, and in fact, Dr. Shanika actually just put it in the comments with the smile.amazon link, and go from there. This is the second or third time I have seen this comment, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Apparently, you have a whole stage play.
Yes, I have an entire stage play written and ready to be produced. Um, right before the pandemic and right before my family uprooted from Los Angeles and relocated to Lancaster, we were entertaining, um, producing and putting on this play. And, God was really making great strides in getting us to a point to where we could really put on this production. Um, so it is something we're going to revisit. Not sure when exactly, because we have a lot of things on the table, which is why First Lady's Last Man Part Two, whatever that title is going to be, has not been written yet. So the reason why is because there's so many other things, to be done. I'm working on, just working with the designs. I know we're going to talk about that. There's a children book in the making with my 8-year-old daughter Jay. Very, very, very lively 8-year-old, and she has a very interesting story to tell and some very interesting stories to paint. So, we're working on that. So that's going to be published. Shanika and I are going, and I call her by her first name because most people know who she is anyway. If you know who I am, you know who who Dr. Shanika is anyway. So Shanika and I are working on a devotional. We're going on 4 years of marriage, and most people pick up devotionals from people who have been married, for 20 years, but the 20-year marriage, what we want to try and capture in our devotional is good, meaty information that is still fresh for the 2, 3, 4-year-old marriage. And who better to tell it than, people who have been married? We're still in our single digits of marriage, but we're well, she's 20 25 and I'm going on 40. I won't say her age.
Don't
She's
get in trouble,
so we have
man.
a lot of years of experience of dating and planning marriage and just us being together as well. We have a story to tell, and we want to help people who are a little timid about seeking 20-year-old marriages for help with their 2-year marriage.
Mhm. That's beautiful. And there's a few things, that makes it beautiful is one, the family orientation, right? The family values, the having, creating something, a room for Jay, right? 8 years old, but already having her on a path of confidence and faith, and just going after her dreams and cultivating them in an encouraging, supportive way that's also safe and protective, which is just wonderful. And then also having the devotional and what that means, and the all the potential, and being able to have people who look up to you, to both you and Dr. Shanika, and going from there. So that is just great. We are excited, so excited, in going from there. So briefly, not only that, you cook. You cook, and as you said, you've uprooted and gone to Lancaster, and immediately you all started serving. So can you just talk about that ministry that you have?
So that ministry was birthed in my mother, actually. So my mother, she relocated with us, and she's here, and she frequents a certain part of Lancaster, and it is very overpopulated with the homeless community. And we were on the prayer line. We hold a prayer line every morning at 7 a.m. And we're on the prayer line. And I think I was sharing and encouraging, God's people. And I was talking about, believe in Mark, where Jesus was telling Peter, if you love me, feed my people. If you love me, feed my sheep. So with that conversation, it was very impressed upon my mother. I think what her story was, she fell asleep after the prayer line. And then when she woke up, she just really heard God's voice speaking to her, telling her, feed my people. If you love me, feed my people. So she brought it to Shanika and I, and she said, "Hey, I want to start feeding, the people, the people." It started being, the people. I want to feed the people, and then it became family. She was calling them her extended family, and she wanted to put together some menus that looked like our dinner table. She didn't want to put together bag and sack lunches and things like that. She really felt the need to present something from our table, to them. They don't have a table to eat at. So, we wanted to extend our table as much as possible. So the meals we put together are, I mean, you can see the pictures. I'm still working on the Facebook page, but on my Facebook, you can, if you haven't seen any of those pictures, we've done whole chickens, we've done tacos, we've done full Thanksgiving. I mean, we packed the trays sometimes so much to where we had to buy rubber bands to put around it. I mean, we wanted to make sure that they had a full meal. We didn't want to leave our table from having 3-4 course meal, with a drink, and then go out and feed them, a hot dog or something like that. So they are fed, very, they are fed very well, and we do it 2 times a week. Thursdays we feed them a dinner, and on Saturday or Sunday, give or take, we're feeding them breakfast. So it's been upwards to about 30 individuals. And sometimes the individuals won't want a tray. So she gives them hygiene products as well. So it's been well over 30 individuals. But as far as the food we prepare, um, we wanted to make sure that we prepared something that they would look at and say, I do appreciate the fact that you all are putting together. And every time we go out, they're like, hey, what church are you guys from? Where, and we say, no, this is just, from the bottom of our hearts. And that's just, what it is that, we were impressed to do. And the reason behind the name, we struggled with the name for a little bit because um, what we realized when we went out was that everybody's not really receptive to blessings. Everybody's, they're very, especially the vulnerable, population, the homeless population, they're very reluctant to accept something because people are, everybody's not good. Even if they look good, everybody's not good. So we make sure we ask, hey, would you like a meal? Would you like a meal? So the acronym WILAM just kind of stuck, would you like a meal? And that just became, the name that we use. We're gonna, you know, ask the people, would you like a meal? And make sure that they are receptive to the blessing before we try to push, hey, you're homeless, so you need a meal. That's definitely not the case.
Right. I really resonate with the family aspect of it, and in your mom saying extended family. Can you just expound on that and talk about the impact of having that mindset and going in with this is my family that you're serving, and how it's impacted the way you prepare the meals or how you're giving them out and things like that, or how it even makes you all feel?
Um, I do most of the cooking. I won't say I do 100% of the cooking. I do most of the cooking. And when I'm preparing it, in my mindset, I am thinking, and this is with any cooking that I do, any of the cooking, the other photos that you might have seen before we started doing this. These are things that I serve to Shanika, and I feel as if I'm cooking something that I would go out to a restaurant and pay 40, $50 for a plate. Presentation matters, that matters. Taste matters. And a lot of times when I cook, I don't taste my food. I, have someone else taste it. Presentation matters. Taste matters. Safety matters. So I'm a thermometer fanatic. I probably have about 6 or 7 different thermometers. So I take pride in safety, the safety of the food we're putting together and things like that. So I like to have the mindset that I don't ever want to prepare something that I wouldn't eat. you know so I wouldn't prepare anything that I wouldn't feed to my wife, or feed to my mother, or feed to my children. So with them, the I think with my mother also is the fact that they live 2 to 3 minutes away from our home. you know this could definitely be us. You know what I mean? This could have been us. But we have been blessed enough to be a blessing to people that she see every single day. She would go to the discount store almost every day. She would go get a coffee from the donut shop, and it is literally 2 to 3 minutes down the street. And we live in what looks like, first glance, a very nice neighborhood, a very upscale neighborhood. We're in West Lancaster, and that's just a hop and skip from Quartz Hill, which is like the Beverly Hills of Antelope Valley. It's a really nice neighborhood. We live in a really nice home, but we remember where we came from, and that we could have definitely went the other direction and been without a home instead of buying a bigger home. So the family aspect that we want to present to them is that you are not lesser than. If anything, we are equals. We are not superior. You are not inferior to us. So anything we present, even the hygiene bags that she gives, she's getting the big gallon to 2 gallon size Ziploc bags. It's not like the little Ziplocs or the paper bags. Not to take anything away from people who do that, but I mean they're packed. I mean they're packed to a point to where you can't even zip them up. So that aspect of family is you want to provide for them. If you have been blessed, you want to make sure you be a blessing to others as well, because we are all brothers and sisters. We are all family. We are all children of God, and if anyone needs more, and if anyone needs help, it's definitely them. And if we're in a position to do so, then we want to make sure we do it. The other part of that, I think it's the going out. Once we go out and you drive down these alleys and drive through these parking lots, pull up to these tents, I mean it's almost life changing, if not life changing. um my sister and her family came out one day, and we were getting ready to leave, and she's like, "Oh, well, we can go with you." She wasn't ready, mentally. She wasn't ready. She got a wake up call. Shanika, a lot of times she wouldn't be able to go out with us every time we go. But when she goes, it's always this wake up call. It's very impacting. It's impactful, and it does something to you. And I truly feel as if you're doing something like this and it does not do anything to you, you probably should not be doing it, because you're not making the impact that you probably should be.
Right. It's really heartwarming and heart touching, and it stirs up a level of humility, gratefulness, and gratitude, um, for life, and also love. And so, yeah, I completely feel you on the being ready and mentally
Oh
and impacting. Apparently, you have 5,000 thermometers. Um,
yeah. Okay.
and yes, presentation is important. Yes, we are all equal. So, with that, how are you funding Wylam?
A lot of the funding starting out, a lot of the actually 100% of the funding was coming from my mother's pocket. She
Mm.
was and if we went to the store, we would swipe our cards, or dig in our pockets and pay for whatever it was. But she really took this on, and it was completely out of her pocket. It wasn't until people started seeing what we were doing, and they just wanted to be a part. I just recently, I say recently because it was within the last couple of years, um, made a connection with my roots, found out where my roots were planted, and in New Orleans, and in Chicago, and I believe one of my cousins from Chicago, who I've never met in person, but she jumped right on. We connected. We connected through her mother, who was my great aunt, and she jumped on and she saw it. She said, "Hey, I want to, I want to donate. I want to donate." And she's been, doing so regularly. There's individuals who reach out, who, just bless us through the prayer line we're on every morning. You know, we have not, to this day, we have not asked for anything because God has blessed us enough. He is a provider. He is definitely a provider in ways that we can't imagine. But in one of those ways, he brings people that will help. And we've been trying to figure out how it can be more structured. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with an Amazon wish list and make it easier for people to do that. A lot of people are very reluctant to send money, um, which, it hasn't been an issue yet. But a lot of people are reluctant to send money, but they ask, how can I help? How can I help? And a lot of times, it's probably easier for us if you just shop on, online and then send the stuff to us. So a couple people have done that. They've sent the trays. If you see the picture, you'll pretty much see what we need. We give them everything they would possibly need for the meal, anywhere from utensils, napkins, the condiments. If we serve breakfast, if they get waffles or pancakes or toast, they're getting jelly. I mean, Smuckers. I mean, real, not no off brand. They're getting real, real food. And we're just basically going to put together an Amazon wish list so people can just shop off the wish list, sort of like a registry, like a baby registry. You just shop off there and it comes right to us, and then we'll put it to work.
So while as you are putting the Amazon wish list together, how can people donate? We have a few people who are asking how can they donate. So although there may be some who understandably are don't want to necessarily send money, there are still others who are willing. So at this point in time, how can people go on ahead and donate?
Um, I have commandeered Shanika's Cash App. So most of my Cash App business is through her Cash App. So it is SW dot, no, it's SW Boss Lady, not the dot. So it's S is Cash App is $ SW Boss Lady, is the Cash App. And I'm not sure. I know, I mean, we have Zelle, things like that. A couple people send us Zelle. So if you have our phone numbers, you can send it that way. But the best way is probably Cash App.
Okay, so the Cash App for those who are listening has been put in the comments. Dr. Shanique, I'm going to go ahead and pin your comment that has your Cash App. And while that is going, before the next question, you have a couple comments. Great to see
Oh,
you,
Lord.
brother, from our Associate Director, Tim Bryant.
Damn, that's my boy
Uh,
right there.
Someone said, "You see that afro?" And the response was, "It's clean, isn't it? Fire."
This is my I just embraced it for Black History Month, but this is my quarantine. I ain't been nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. So I just let it grow out.
Hey,
Try
let
to
it.
see which one could get longer, my beard or my afro. My beard is actually a little wrapped up. It's actually about this long.
Oh, you trying to go T status on? Okay, we see.
So, so I'm gonna be on camera. So let me clean it up a little bit and pat it down. It's really long.
Hey,
It's
shrinkage is real for both men and women. Like, don't let it the pat down fool how long people's hair actually is. Um, Real quick, we have, oh, Dr. Shanika said we have Zelle, PayPal, and Venmo as well. So Dr. Shanika, if you can just go ahead and put that in the comments, I will go ahead and pin it. And this is the second time I have seen this topic come up. So magic soda.
okay. That's Precious. I already know who that is.
You see, I wasn't saying names.
I know exactly who that is. Uh, so Precious is very fascinated. She's probably very fascinated with our family all the way around, and she enjoys my cooking and food prep to a point to where she gets very violent. Um, It
I
angers
actually
her.
love comments.
And so I had the bright idea of making soda. It's simply a soda stream, but the flavors I put together are the different, the different flavors. I think I gave her green apple soda, but it's sugarless, so there's no sugar in it, things like that. But it's just a soda stream. It's She calls it magic soda because she didn't know I was making soda until she had it. She was like, "No, I don't drink soda. I'm not drinking." It's like, "Just taste it. There's no sugar." And she was like, "This is better than soda, actually." So
Okay.
that's what she's talking about.
So we look forward to the patent and we look forward to when it is forward. You already know Natural We is going to be like, A, buy this one right here. Apparently, someone said this guy, Cold Pop, the best soda on earth.
If there was a
Uh,
Precious, it has to be Tashaka, Tasha Starwell. I
and
know, I know my people.
you know your people, yeah, as you should, as you
There's only
should.
so many. There's the other thing. There's only so many who've had it. So by process of elimination, I can tell.
um, Apparently you went into the closet and came out with it. Like there is all caps going on in this comment section right
There's
now
all
today.
caps, and she's angry. That's Precious.
Well, she said very upset. Uh, and Precious Mac is my sister, and I love her. We love to see all this love in the Naturally chat. Thank you, everybody, everyone. This is great. Um, for those who are watching, as you can see, there is a logo at the bottom in the corner of Brother Will's Zoom background, and he is wearing a shirt that's, Brother Tim, I'm saying this is the first time I'm hearing about the soda as well, and I just, I'm trying to stay in like, TJ mode, but Kiara is like, I want to try a no sugar soda. And no, it's been a while since I've had Will's cooking. They've had mine and they had my banana pudding, but
Oh my,
I don't
we are overdue.
know.
We are
You said
overdue.
you're overdue.
I'm sure Shanika told you. I do not eat everyone's cooking. I do not. And banana pudding is one of those things. It's like, nah, everybody done tried it. There's only two people who have made it in my life. One thing that my father taught me, one thing that my father told me was if you know how to eat, you should know how to cook.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
first, I know how to cook because I know how to eat.
Eat very well. I mean, I'm sure you
So
and I could have many food conversations. 'Cause,
yes, yes.
yeah.
So the banana pudding that we got, A plus. It was right. For anybody that don't know, TJ makes a mean banana pudding. I was a skeptic until that first spoon, and about 10 to 15,000 spoons later, yeah, I'm still testing it. I need more samples, if you
Need more
will.
time. We're gonna have to figure this out because I haven't had some of your food in a while, and it was long overdue. But I see, Brother Tim. I don't even remember what I was saying. Um, Brother Tasaka said, "Awesome brother, mentor, friend, and that you trick people with meat and chili. That's not meat." Um,
So my cooking still has to be good, even on a Daniel fast. So I made sure there was no, yeah. And he
we're
got
gonna
tricked.
have to we're gonna have to talk offline because I
Oh
figured
yeah,
out
yeah,
I figured out a
definitely,
plant-based gumbo and
definitely.
yeah. So somebody Precious said natural party. Hey man, when we are able to gather the way that we used to, it's going down. Um but as I was saying, Deity Apparel and custom design, the logo is on the Zoom app, as you all can see. And please talk to us about Deity Apparel. What is Deity Apparel? Why the name Deity Apparel?
Deity Apparel was birthed from the very same place a First Lady's last man was birthed. It was me sitting there, and I looked at Shanika and her beautiful eyes, and I said, "Honey," she said, "Yes, honey." And I said, I think I can, create some shirts. I need to get them out of my head. I have some shirt designs, and I just need to get it out of my head. Didn't know the first thing about it, and then I just really just went online and just started just started creating stuff. Looked up some free software, um, looked up some platforms, and the next thing I knew, I had a website. The next thing I knew, I had a, I'm creating logos and flyers, and Pastor Starwell Toshaka, he's the one that really pushed me out there and said, hey, there's a need for it. There's definitely a need for, your services and your skills. And I'm like, what skills? I don't have any skills. And again, not to take anything away from, graphic designers, because these people go to school. They go to school for this stuff. And the schooling that I went for is to, to figure out how to put, the organizational part, of it together. So to do that, as well as, to be the salesman, to be the, the designer, to, to do all this stuff, it was a lot to, it was a lot to grab hold of. But once it was, and this was right before the pandemic, once it was all solidified, it was out there. It was out there, and I started doing a lot of flyers, for my church. Um, the t-shirts are what started out, and the name Deity. I definitely wanted to start creating shirts that they were going to be Christian t-shirts. So I was going to do the Christian t-shirt thing, but um, I think it was really on our prayer line. One of the things that I admonish everyone on our prayer line is to is to do something, to be something, and to wear something. Smell a certain way, walk a certain way, talk a certain way, smile a certain way, do something that presents an opportunity for a conversation to be sparked up between you and a stranger, a loved one, a friend, somebody, that ends in them asking, "Who is this man named Jesus, and what must I do to be saved?" So one of the main foundational pieces of Deity Apparel was we were going to be able to wear something. I wanted to create something that was going to get somebody's attention. And every single conversation you have with someone, if we just learned about being an ambassador for Christ on the line this morning, every single thing that you are, every single thing that you do, and every single thing that you wear, how you smell, should lead you to being used by God to save somebody's life. So that's where the t-shirts begin. And Deity, with the two E's at the end, it's just a play on the word deity, God. Taking off the Y and making a T for shirts. So it's just a crafty way of saying, God. And then the custom design part came later, just really dabbling in graphic designs. And again, before I knew it, I mean, I'm making stickers and logos and, flyers and shirts and business cards. And I just finished a brochure for Tashaka's company as well. I mean, it's just really taken off, but it was birthed from, hey, babe, I think I could do this. And I have.
That is really really beautiful. And as you talked about Shanika's lovely eyes, you were told that you better romance an interview in one swoop. Um, Pre-Valentine's setup. It's really great to see how much you and your wife love each other. But thinking about the Deity Apparel reminds me of something that we used to say quite often in terms of if you are the only um, Bible anyone sees, how does that happen? Can you guys hear yet? I don't know what happened to the sound. Hold on. They're saying they can't hear. If you guys can hear, let me know in the comments, please.
If they're watching on the phone, a lot of times what they can do is just go out of the video and come back in.
Okay. They said they can hear. Thank you. So, with that, you all will notice that, Tashaka, you being talked to in the comments. Apparently, you're just old. Um,
That's precious.
so, as you all can see with the screens, we have Brother Will in his shirt. I am young, I am black, I am history, and then mine says I am Black history. These shirts are actually shirts that Brother Will designed for Black History Month, and we wanted to make sure that they were seen. Many of you all have also seen Natural We's shirts. Brother Will designed the shirts. One day he and I were talking, and I was like, I think Natural We wants some shirts. Do you think you can design something? And the next thing I knew, I was getting pictures of crew neck, v-neck, here's blue, here's purple, and I was like, sir. So it was great, it was totally awesome. How has it Precious, I have asked him about the stage play 3 already. So if he brings up the play again, we'll talk about it. We know you eager to see it pop off. um but how does it feel when you are, just wake up one morning and you're tagged about your shirts, or you have another order, or someone's asking if you can design a shirt? What how does that make you feel?
Um, it's honestly, it's still surprising at times. With the shirts, it's really like my food as well. It's I'm nervous, making it because I don't really know how it's gonna come out. Like I know how it's gonna come out, but then it's like I don't know, because like I said before, I don't taste my food when I'm cooking it. I just feel like if I'm seasoning my food and I'm cooking it a certain way, I should know how it should taste. And then when I present it, I haven't had any, of course, my taste tester is my wife, so she tasted, and I get a response about maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls in, and then she takes the whole plate. So it's the same thing with the shirts. I make the shirts. Um, I send her, a picture of the shirt, and she's like, "Have you placed my order yet?" So she probably has, if it's 100 designs, she probably has 99 of them, 99 of the different designs.
As she should.
So she is definitely my biggest fan, and she is my best critic. I won't say my worst critic, because I feel like your worst critic is someone who's going to lie to you. So she's definitely my best critic. If something's off, she doesn't have a problem telling me. So to present it to the public before I publish it, before I send it out, before anybody sees it, it's gone through the best quality assurance that I possibly can have. And then when it's out there, and then I get the orders that come in, to hear that it's a different sound on my phone when it goes through the transaction. So when I hear that, and it's like it's always wow, like wow, somebody liked my shirt enough to buy it. I'm humbled, I'm humbled by it because this is something that I'm producing from my mind, and for someone to like it enough to pay their hard-earned dollars for it, it's humbling. Definitely does not grow my ego at all. It's humbling, and I thank everyone who has bought a shirt, who has trusted me enough to create their logos, who's trusted me enough to put together their flyers and videos, and all of these different things that I do. I try to present something that you would pay 5, sometimes 10 times more for if you go elsewhere. I never started this to try to get rich, rich from. Never started it to, if anything, I started it to really help people who needed a logo, to who needed a logo, who needed shirts, who needed flyers, but didn't really have the money to do it. And in return, I would tell them, hey, just shoot me a love offering. Just shoot me a love offering because I'm still honing in my craft. So just shoot me a love offering, and it's been a blessing. It's definitely been a blessing. So it's humbling to hear that sound of an order coming in, as well as hearing the reaction of people that I've created things from scratch for.
That is that is awesome. And when he says that, no, not trying to get rich off of it, he means that. When naturally first was talking about the shirts and different things like that, No, the very first thing I said was, okay, so how much do we owe you for the way to design everything? And he was like, sis,
Don't worry
just
about
did it. And I was like, I said, okay, all right, well, let us know what we need to do. And he's like, no, if anything, as soon as you all get enough t-shirts and everything, I'm gonna start sewing into natural we based off of who orders natural we shirts. And I tell you, when I shared the message with Brother Tim, he was like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, may God just continue to bless him, because it's really genuine. It's really genuine, and that is beautiful and reassuring, and want to know that we are grateful for it. And I know we have only have a few more minutes, but just and we could talk about the shirts all day. Like I said, he's made shirts for New Providence, Natural We, and just his whole Black History line. He's been putting
the
out
Black
teasers.
collection. Yeah.
He's been putting out teasers, y'all, on his page. And as you see, I'm wearing the shirt that says "I am Black History." That's because I saw a status that talked about his shirts, and I said, "Oh, let me get my Black History Month shirt right quick."
Yeah.
I kid you not, I put submit on my order, and I get a message. Oh, I'm putting more shirts out. You know, let me tell you, I was mad. I was happy and mad all at the same time. But please, Deity Apparel has a Facebook page. Please check out their line. Dr. Shanika or Precious, one of you, if you guys can just tag the Deity Apparel page in the comment box real quick. As we move into wrapping up, can you just speak on your nonprofit right quick? It was actually fun reading your bio. This is the first time I heard about it, and I'm looking at you a little bit because we Natural We supports nonprofits and
Yes.
organizations and things like. So please talk about Boys Will Be Boys. Is that it?
Yeah. Boys Will Be Boys tour. So this was this was major. I mean, it was very major when I was still living in LA. For some reason, and I'll say it was God. For some reason, there was a lot of the women in my life who were single mothers asking me, "Hey, like I need help. I need help. I need help." And then that turned into, "I need your help. I need your help. I need your help." And to be a little transparent, I was going through some, legal issues with. We have a 14-year-old son, and he resides with his mother in Los Angeles. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out stuff with, with my own kids and with my own son. And they were it just kept coming. And Shanika, us, always being together, she was able to see this firsthand. And she was able to see that there was such a need, just from the single mothers in my life, friends and, family members. I prayed about it and I said, what am I supposed to be doing? And another dream, another dream came about, and it was a dream about a young boy, um, on a safari tour, kind of like a safari tour, and just on being a tourist, and just traveling through this unfamiliar land, this unfamiliar space, and being completely lost, and just trying to find his way, and didn't have a guide. Um, and then I had the other image of that same kid, that same young boy, having a tour guide. If you've ever been on in another unfamiliar land, if you're traveling, if that's your thing, you typically get a tour guide. And with the tour guide is taking you places and saying, "Hey, take a picture of this, take a picture of that. You want to remember this, you want to remember that, so that when you get back home or when you're older, you can look back at these photos and say, man, that was nice." You can look at specific landmarks and say, that was nice. And then you are able to attach these long lasting memories, to these single moments that you captured in a photo. So with the Boys Will Be Boys tour, um, it was emulated, if you will, of a young boy being on tour, and we wanted to provide those tour guides. There's a lot of young boys especially in the Los Angeles, this South Los Angeles area, who don't have a male tour guide, a father in the home or in their lives to teach them those landmark moments of their childhood, how to tie a tie, how to, how to clean themselves, how to shave, how to speak, how to shake somebody's hand. I mean, those small things that they should learn from their fathers, their tour guides, because we've been there before. I've been an 8-year-old boy. I've been a 14-year-old boy. I've been an 18-year-old boy. I've been there. So I can tell you, go here, see this, avoid here, don't go here, don't do that, and then leave it up for them, to decide what's best for them, for their own journey. So God, put it on my heart to start this up, and pitch it to the people that were inquiring, just asking for my help and things like that. And I just said, you know what, God, if you're doing it, if it's you, then I'll definitely follow. The last big event we had, I mean, we were able to go with Sister Precious's help. She was able to bless us with tickets to go to the Nickelodeon Awards,
Mm.
the Teen Choice Awards. We were able to do that. I mean, they had a ball. We packed a big van. Another friend of mine, she said, yeah, you can use the van. We packed a 15 passenger van. Went to went to a couple of different awards. We also had a paint and chill. So I put together a paint and chill party, and we had, I believe it was over 40 young boys, and a few of the, we allowed the girls to come. So, but it was over 40. And a friend of mine who does this for a living, she was able to get me a number that, where I was able to just charge the parents. I believe it was only $10. And all the materials were provided. We fed the kids real well. Everything was organized. My church was nice enough to open the doors and allow us a location to meet. I mean, it just all came together since I've relocated, and since the pandemic. Of course, that has kind of died out. But once things start to open up and things be a little bit more safe, then we'll definitely be having that conversation about getting this back together. But yes,
Oh,
that's the Boys
awesome.
Will Be Boys tour.
Awesome. So awesome. This is just this is so great. This is so wonderful. And this is what being we is all about. And being the community is what's all about. We are just so thankful that you are obedient to God's voice as you um see and hear God what God has for you during through dreams and prayer and everything. Um Before we wrap up, you have a request, and the request was if you would sing the Black National Anthem.
Oh
it,
wow.
it is your prerogative. I'm just making sure that you know.
All right. I'm trying to remember the other words.
Lift up your voice and sing till
Let me find the other words.
while you are putting together the words. I know I told you before we started the Zoom that you would see me look down periodically to keep up with the comments. But what I did not tell you was that in the comments, I asked everybody to leave some words of encouragement to you. I'm getting ready to read them, and it's very important that we show people our appreciation while they can still hear, live, and feel them, and have the acknowledgement, especially our men. Many of you all know who have been watching and following Natural We know that when we talk about community, we talk about not only our Black women, but our Black men as well, especially in a time when our Black men are murdered, our Black men have so much on their shoulders. It is very important that we make sure as a community and as support of each other, let our men know that we have their back as well. So I'm just going to read the encouragement that has come in.
Am I gonna get choked up? Should I sing before?
I believe that's up to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let me sing before because I don't
Okay,
want
and
to
then
get
we'll
choked
go.
up, be crying while I'm singing. um, all right. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you. Thank you. As always, let us continue to remember our faith, our hope, and our history, and to celebrate our history and all of our history. And with that, Will, you're so powerful, anointed, humble, beautiful, my best friend, my greatest blessing, proud of who you are and who you're becoming. He is truly a light and great impact on this earth. Gifted man of God, friend, brother, amazing singer, mentor, father. To see your transformation and constant obedience to God is just so inspiring. I truly love you, Bishop. You are a living example of the scripture. Your gifts will make room for you. Very funny and loves helping people, gives of himself, loves, loves, loves his sweet wife, and family, loves, loves, loves the Lord, and pray. Amazing. All I can say is he is a great man of God. Such a blessing in the many ways that God is using you. Keep being the sermon, cousin. I met you while we were both doing our best to be Jesus' hands and feet, and I am honored to have met you. Thank for being obedient to God in so many ways. You feed the community, you bless others with words of encouragement, feeding our soul, keep pressing on, doing God's work. And from Natural we love you. Keep doing what you are doing. Your work is not unnoticed, but it is very noticed, and you are touching lives and impacts. Um, Wilbert, I'm very proud of you and I love you. You just don't know the impact you have on others' life. A change is going to come. Will, you are an amazing man of God. You're a brother, you're a mentor, and a friend. Most of all, you're an awesome man of God. I encourage you to continue to move in the way God has instructed you to do so. You are the best brother that I've ever had. And those again are just a few. And this is what community hour of power is all about. It's not about necessarily finding people who are in the news every single day and things like that, but all of us individually and collectively are we in the community. And Brother Will, you are a very important impact. So on the days that the load feels heavy, on the days that might feel some pain, might be tired, different things like that, I hope and pray that you remember these words and that it gives you some encouragement and strength to keep going and know that you are very loved and impactful, and you are someone who is helping our community, and you will be more than well. So we thank you. And before we wrap up with the last announcements, do you have any last words?
First and foremost, I just all glory to God. You know, everything that I am and everything that I do, it wouldn't be possible without Him. Just the strength that I draw from Him on a daily basis um, is what pushes me, you know, to do things like this. And on the other side of that, it's the reception from people like you and people like you know, everyone who is watching and commenting. It's just the receptive opportunities of enjoyment of the things that God is producing through me. You know, that pushes me as well. And if I could just give some words of encouragement, um, um, story of David and Goliath, it's very impactful to me in particular, and it's very impactful because David didn't run from the challenges. You know, he showed up at the battlefront, saw that Goliath was standing in the middle of the battlefield, saw that everybody was ready to, you know, throw in the towel. He didn't run from his responsibilities, and this is just one of many. And you know, my pastor's been teaching about progression, showing up, moving forward instead of retreating. And this is, you know, no different. We can't defeat our giants if we run. So keep showing up for life. Keep showing up, you know, for the battle. If it's too heavy, it doesn't belong to you. Give it to God anyway. But just keep showing up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up for life. And don't run from anything, because if you run from it, you will never be able to defeat it.
Amen. And Ashe, we receive that. Thank you so much. Thank you to all who joined the Community Hour of Power today. We are just, this has just been great. As you see, I'm still trying to find words. Um, Next week, we have Brother Tim taking over Community Hour of Power. He will be interviewing um, uh, Derek, Chef Derek. We are so excited. So please stay tuned for that. And again, our Zoom tutoring is up in the comments for this Community Hour of Power. If you would like to support YLM, or if you would like to support Deity Apparel, all of the information is pinned in our comments. And we just hope that everyone has a beautiful, great, safe rest of the week. And again, happy Black History Month. Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a
Thank you.
good
Thank you.
evening. Take care.